Welcome to the Awakening Together channel here on YouTube. This is our Awakening Together weekly gathering. Each and every week we have a different minister who speaks. If you'd like to attend our services live, please visit our website, awakening-together.org. Click on Online Sanctuary and How to Enter the Sanctuary. Our services are held Sundays at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. We'd love to see you in the sanctuary.
I am so deeply honored and grateful to be here. We do have a surprise special guest that will be singing our opening song this morning. I'm very grateful that she obliged to do this. As the service unfolded within my mind, I knew the song that I was going to open with, and I also heard Jackie, and so she obliged. So I'm grateful for that as well. So I'm just welcoming you all, and what I will do now is open up the room for you to welcome each other and to greet each other in our beloved sanctuary. Thank you, Dawn. So I will start off with our purpose, our statement of purpose. We are an assembly of equals joined in common purpose, awakening to one true self. Within an appearance of many faiths, many cultures, and many symbols, we seek to discern one truth and to rest in its embrace. Okay, so we now will have our opening song by Jackie Walden. I will let go of the mic.
All right, thank you, Shiryl. And good morning, everyone. I am joined this morning by Del Cottrell. She's a fabulous keyboardist and singer, and will be accompanying us this morning. And Shiryl picked this song. I didn't pick it. It spoke to her and it speaks to me. It's called We Let It Be by Ricky Byers. Well, she was back with, but Ricky Byers now. And the song is really a chant and a call to let all things be as they are, and to allow the love, the peace, the joy to wash over you at all times.
Many pray along the way. They don't stop to wonder what the world is coming to. They let something higher reveal the way to greater love. To greater love. Oh yes. So the truth keeps telling me, say of liberation for the ones who are not free. Love can take us higher, reveal the way to greater love. Oh, the greater love. Oh, yes. So we let it wash over us. We let it make us kinder. We let it lift us higher. We let it be. We let it early in the morning. We let it hold us together. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let it. Still some cry along the way, walking through the sadness for a world that needs to know love can take us higher, reveal the way to greater love. The greater love. Oh yes. So the truth keeps telling me love's the only answer. And to all humanity, we can stay inspired, reveal the way to greater love. To greater love. Oh yes. So we let it wash over us. We let it make us kinder. We let it lift us higher. We let it be. We let it early in the morning. Hold us together. Let it love wash over us. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace. We let the peace. We let it wash over us. Oh, we let it be. We let the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be.
Beautiful, Jackie. Beautiful. Oh, I don't know. I wanted to get up and dance, but I figure I have to stay in front of the camera. I just love that song. It so speaks to me. It really does. It opens the heart, and it's what I want. So I would like to focus on the core value that I picked for today, and that is core value number 3. We accept one self, which is one presence or being, non-dual, without beginning or end, and absolutely changeless. We live this value by practicing letting go of the belief in the individual self as who we are. And now I would like to ask Rubye Nasser, Reverend Rubye Nasser, to step forward and do the reading for this morning. And I've chosen Revelation chapters 1 and 2.
Good morning. I am reading from the Holy Spirit's interpretation of Revelation, NTI Revelation, Chapter 1. The time is at hand. All that you need to accept the truth of who you is with you and within you now. There can be nothing that you can lack for which you must ask. It has been given, and so you have it with you fully now. The world is illusion, and so everything you experience as you let go of the world is illusion also. You are not to believe any of it, but helpful symbols will be given to guide you. Remember that they are only symbols. Follow them, realizing you know not where they lead. Do not idolize anything within the world, or any symbol, or any thought that is sent to lead you from the world. Hold to them as they are useful, but let them go when their usefulness has passed. You are to keep moving by letting go until you find yourself with nothing left to hold on to. Look and see what you shall see. Know that it comes to you like passing clouds, but it comes on the wings of heaven so that you can let it go. Nothing within the world comes to you for any other purpose. Nothing within the experience of the world is to be held on to. It is all given that you may look at it and choose to let it go. I am the Alpha and Omega, who is and who was and who is to come. Keep this thought within the mind as temptations come to tell you that you are not. Stay firm with your heart and trust and say no to all that is a lie by remembering it is not so. If you do not believe that which is not truth, you shall experience truth. But if you choose to believe the false that is truth about you, you shall experience the false and believe it is true. Guidance comes to you for only one purpose, and that is to lead you from the world. There may seem to be another purpose, which is happiness within the world. The two purposes are not the same. Do not be fooled by the similarities of their sound. One purpose leads to death, while the other, most surely, leads to life and knowledge of life. All things within the world are the same. There is nothing special in any of it. Every experience can be used to lead to life, and every experience can also lead to death. This is the double-edged sword of the spiritual path. It may lead you to life you seek, or it may lead you to stay busy as you work very hard, going nowhere. Only you can know what this path is for you. The Christ within is your guide on this muddle and tricky path. By listening only to it shall you find your way. Listen to no other voice as you step carefully with me. Listen only for life and be aware of temptations, which are but the pealing calls of death. You are not alone. You are never alone. You need but remember your true purpose, and all that you desire for discernment and guidance shall be given you. You will never be asked to take a single step alone, but you must always be willing to take the lead by deciding the purpose and calling it out to us. Revelation 2. I know who you are, and you know who you are also. This is why you do the work I ask, because you know, and so you want to have the experience of who you are. To not have the experience when you know the experience is your truth is unhappiness. You shall not rest with unhappiness when you know happiness is your right. Within you, there is a voice. It seems to be an evil voice that speaks of hatred and viciousness and attack. But this voice is not evil, nor is it to be hated or feared. For to judge it as evil, or to hate it or fear it, is to listen to it, and to listen to its confusion. For it is the voice of confusion. Here is how you are to see the voice that seems vicious. This voice seeks for your happiness, but it has become confused by a goal. It believes your happiness lies in loneliness and control, where aloneness and control can only bring you misery. Do not hate the voice that is confused. Simply do not follow it. It leads to confusion, and you are ready to follow the voice of clarity now. To him who has an ear, let him hear. It is by overcoming the voice of confusion that one knows only the voice of light. And it is the voice of light that leads you to the tree of life, which is the paradise of God. Do not be afraid to hear the voice of confusion, for to fear it is to believe it is truth. Hear the voice, but do not listen to it. That means recognize its confusion and do not walk in the way that it asks. Have faith in me over what it says. Trust in your truth, and you will know true happiness. He who has an ear, let him hear. Life cannot die, because life is the extension of life. Only the belief in death can bring you sorrow. Let that belief die by not protecting yourself against it. You cannot be hurt by belief that in that which cannot be. I want to look deep within you, with you, at the beliefs that you fear most. They are the ones you hide by denying them. But you deny them because you think they are true. If you knew they were false, you would let them go. I want to look at them with you so you can lean on my strength and see that they are false. You may feel your fear and let it go with a giggle. But the light of your heart shines brighter than darkness caused by confusion. When darkness is looked at beside the light, it is the darkness that must fade away. Put your fear of me aside, for your fear of me is but imagined. You imagine the confusion in you as truth, and that I will punish you for your confusions. But this is nothing but evidence that the voice of confusion has your ear. Put that aside. Know that listening to confusion can never be helpful, since it only leads deep into confusion. Trust me enough to listen to me over the voice for confusion. Through this, you shall learn that clarity is clear and confusion muddles all that is available to be seen. He who has an ear, let him hear. You may choose trust or you may choose fear. One is light and the other is darkness. So one will bring you joy and the other will lead to suffering. Look carefully upon the choice that is offered you and choose wisely with your heart. You know which choice to make. It is not a mystery because you do know what you are. Choose with the heart and then hold to your choice as a white stone that is precious because your true name is written on it and known as truth by you. I know your truth. You must hold with me to this knowing of your truth as we look at all that is not true. As you remember your truth, hold to me. Nothing shall shake you, for nothing can shake the truth from the mind when the truth is held to as all that is in the mind as true. Within your mind, coming from the voice of confusion, there is a deep belief in your own guilt. Trust me that this belief is in your mind and that you will see it and feel it as we step forward. The fear that you know comes from the guilt that is hidden. Without the guilt, there can be no fear. Trust me, the fear that you know seems real because the guilt seems real also. Fear may be let go, but as it is, the guilt shall rise to greet you. When you see it, you will wish again for the fear protected you from having to look at the guilt. The guilt comes with great pain and the strong feeling of sacrifice. Hold to me as we look at the guilt. It is not real, although it has been believed. We must look at it and release it together. If we do not know this, the belief in guilt remains. If the feeling of guilt is kept, you cannot know the peace of knowing yourself as you are, because you have chosen to know yourself as you are not. There's nothing to fear. By trusting me to the end through all that we seem to experience, you will learn this is true, and you shall rejoice unto heaven. The pieces shall be picked up, and the desire to rule shall be laid down, because you shall know the freedom that is your truth, and you shall not seek to know freedom if it is less than all that it is. The clarity that comes when the guilt has been released is the freedom and clarity of the morning star. Seek only for this freedom and let no fear stand in your way. He who has an ear, let him rejoice. Thank you, Shiryl.
Thank you, Ruby. Beautifully read. So I will begin with an opening prayer, if you'd like to join me. Inner wisdom, divine source, I ask you to come forth through me to help me see all the blocks to love's presence. Help me to learn what you will teach me today. And I trust. I trust in you to guide me and lead me. And with that I say, Amen. Okay, so I will touch a little bit on the topic today is, the title of my message today is, what am I slave to? And I've done a lot of contemplating. I've done some journaling about this. I recently, a few of us here have recently attended the 4 Principles of God retreat with Regina, and it really opened things up for me as to look at how I live my life every day. And you know, I knew it wasn't an opportunity for me to get into guilt, like the reading that Rubye so eloquently said. You know, it talked about if you allow yourself to get into the guilt, once you make the decision that you want your life to be different than it is, that clouds, that muddles the light. It muddles what is the possibility for us to experience true peace and happiness, not temporary happiness. One of the things that I've been looking at is this incredible beauty in La Vida that surrounds me. And after contemplating the 4 Principles of God, I realized even this beauty is part of the 4th Principle of God. So let me share with you a brief description of the 4 Principles of God. 4th Principle of God is manifestation. Everything in this realm is temporary. So it is often referred to as a dream. It is consciousness appearing as something other than consciousness, and so it is called illusion. One who believes this is the realm of reality is referred to as unconscious, not awake, or ignorant. And when this realm is seen through ignorance, it is fearful and full of suffering. And when seen through clarity, this realm is miraculous. And so when I read the 4th Principle of God and I contemplated on the 4th Principle of God, I realized when I want to see through clarity. So that kind of led me to this idea that even the beauty that surrounds me physically out there can be seen through clarity. And so I just didn't get it. I was like, I don't understand. And then I finally realized, after I even had that thought, I don't understand what that means. I knew I could not go to the intellect to get what the message was for me. So let me go on to explain the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st principle, just for some clarity on what the 4 Principles of God are through Regina Dawn Akers' clarity. The 3rd Principle of God is the ongoing activity of creation, which occurs naturally through the interaction of the witnessing principle with that which is witnessed And in gentle healing, we learn through the code and the NTI Ephesians. I often call it divine love. She often called it divine love, divine law, I'm sorry. It is how consciousness forms itself into the many temporary forms that make up the manifest universe. And the second principle of God is consciousness. This is the only direct creation of the source. In A Course in Miracles, it is called Christ and the Son of God. It is the unaffected still witness. All things manifest are made of this principle. Therefore, all things are consciousness. Then the first principle of God is pure, unmanifest, life awareness, abstract, unlimited potentiality. It is what A Course in Miracles calls Father and Heaven. It is also called Nirvana. It is the source and ultimate truth. So with that information, I began to contemplate, and I wanted to feel. Even though feeling and senses are a part of the fourth principle of God, I wanted a new understanding. I don't know if I'm there yet, but I'm feeling there has been something opened within me to explore, to just really allow it to unfold naturally so that I understand on a deeper level. So I'm going to share with you some of the contemplation I did during the retreat and then after the retreat. So this is what I wrote. Part of this is what I wrote during the retreat. And on the top of the page, I put a prayer. Please help me to learn through true discernment with this practice. All the beauty out there is the fourth principle. All that is tangible, physical, what you see and touch and feel and sense, is a temporary manifestation of this life. Although my dream seems to be one of contentment, it is so clear to me there is so much more to this to discover. Nothing in temporary manifestation is not truth. It is illusion. By believing in anything pointing to truth is holding on to the fourth principle of God. I am willing to learn to transcend beyond the illusions of the world in order to be free. And I think this was a little bit after, could have been the same day of the last day of the retreat. And it could have been the next couple of days because I did some journaling. So how do I go up another level of awareness to reach the higher levels of the principles of God? And I heard from inner wisdom, remember to be mindful of symbols that appear as truth. They are only temporary pointers leading to the truth, which is changeless. And remember, this is not possible to grasp through the intellect. It is possible to trust this as truth. I was asking a question. Is it possible to trust this as truth? Yes. So what is next? Keep asking questions. Go within. Pause for inspiration as to what is needed. Drop into the heart. Pause again. Be still. Listen. Become the witness. And see that treating everything as real will keep you in bondage of temporal experiences. What do you want? I want freedom, liberation. Holy Spirit says, observe the experience as happening. However, where the freedom lies is becoming neutral. While things appear they are happening, to honor what is happening and to embrace it all. What even seems to appear good, bad, right, wrong, etc. To love it all and to be the love, that which you are. Am I willing to be slave to love? Yes. To accept I was mistaken, that this life is real, that the body is who I am, that my life circumstances dictate the unfolding of life events, and so on. The body learned to move within the dream of its manifest. It's part of the fourth. It is part of the fourth principle. And then I believe this is Regina's description of contemplation, which I added in here to help along this journey. Remember, contemplation is not the act of doing. It is a way of being. You cannot genuinely see the world and truth unless you let go of the belief you are the body. This is the relief from illusion back to the source of who you truly are. This is the liberation you seek. So I'm going to pause here for a minute. I do have some more reading, but I would like to talk about, even on Tuesday evening during Reverend Jacqueline Eckert's and Connie Poole's teaching of Gentle Healing Year 2, we were talking about what true contemplation is. And I guess I need reminders. Sometimes, I'll sit in silence with no thoughts. And yet I feel like I'm still up here. So what the process of contemplation is, true contemplation, is it's dropping out of your head, of course, into your heart. And it's hard to describe, I guess. I guess it's hard to describe, because what has become very, very clear to me is I do not need the intellect to do this practice. I do not read. I don't need to read. If I'm inspired to read, I will. But I don't need to do anything. Sitting in silence, being quiet, stilling the mind, dropping into the heart is the beginning process of contemplation. It's the being, the verb being, that has become so apparent to me. In order for me to transcend any ideas of who I think I am. And with this opportunity that I have here, living here at the retreat house, living in La Vida, I'm telling you, I have all the opportunity in the world to sit in silence, to be quiet, to appreciate my surroundings. And the reason I'm getting emotional is because I realized this is not why I'm here. This is not why I'm here. There is so much more going on. And I want to be able to tap in to going beyond the beauty. It really hit me hard this past week that I look out and go, oh my God, it's so beautiful here. I have to pinch myself every day. You know, is this really, I mean, am I really, like, is this really true? Am I really here? Am I surrounded by beautiful mountains with snow caps and the beautiful sunrises and the sunsets? Yes, I am. But is that why I'm here? No, I'm here to wake up. I'm here to transcend, to go beyond anything outside of me. And to not just talk about it. That's what I got. To not just talk about it and not think about it at all. To be the love that I am. So I am willing and open to have that direct experience. So to talk about a little bit more about contemplation. So what contemplation is to look at what it is not. Contemplation is not thinking or trying to understand. Contemplation is silent, diving, restful, devotional place of being. Remaining in this place will give you answers. And again, that is from what true contemplation is by Regina Dawn Akers. So I went on to contemplate and journal. Because what is changing is how you see. Contemplation during the retreat, when I was residing in awareness, the I am presence, it shifted from it will shift from the second to the first level of the principles. Reside here, and life is pure joy. And then this last part, this is actually from Regina, and I wrote down these notes. Second and first principle of God is the direct experience where no thinking is happening. The past disappears, and for the most part, memories fade away. Because Regina's experience, if Regina is okay with me sharing this, with her contemplation through increased silence, she sat in contemplation consistently for 5 to 7 hours a day back in 2012. She had an understanding of the 4 principles of God, which organically unfolded. So that's what has inspired me with this incredible opportunity to sit in the silence, to be the silence, to go. I ask myself, which source am I listening to? Source of thoughts, the wrong mind, divine wisdom. And moving from the wrong perception to the true perception is moving from the 4th principle to the 2nd and first principles of God. Just going to pause. That concludes my contemplation, my journaling. I would like to touch a little bit on other readings that we did through the retreat, the 4 principles of God. We read NTI Ephesians, and I particularly like chapter 2. And if you want to read along, it's on page 340. Your mind is made of creation. Your mind is of God. This we have already established. Being of God, it is the same as God. This can also be called, I'm sorry, I skipped a line. This is the law of which we speak. The law of God is the law of mind. This can also be called the law of thought. And being the law of freedom, it is the law of love. It is the law through which you live. Therefore, remember that this law is who you are, so that this law works through you even as you believe you are who you are not. This law is your truth, completely inseparable from you. You must learn this law and love. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. You must learn this law and love it in order to realize and accept the truth of who you are. And that's just so beautiful. I really do appreciate this opportunity to allow the love wash over me. I don't know. I think I'm good. I think that's all. I want to do a shout out. Two things. Shauna Summers stopped by this week and brought me my satchel. And it's an awakening together that Ken and Rebecca Gibson made for me. I'm very grateful for that. And also I want to do a shout out to my daughter, Emily. It's her 34th birthday today. All right, so I think this concludes my homily, and I guess I'm looking for my next thing to do.
Okay, thank you, Shiryl. It's Kathy. I just wanted to say how much I appreciated the thoughts, the contemplation about the beauty surrounding you, and then making that connection with, I'm not necessarily here to enjoy the beauty, but to awaken. And I just wondered if you could just share a little bit more about that particular contemplation. Because I'm trying to sort out whether this is, so are we ignoring the profound beauty of nature, or maybe beauty's not, or nature's not profoundly beauty. I don't know, but do you have anything further you would share on that?
Sure, I'd like to. Thank you, Kathy. So what became very clear is, yes, there is so much beauty outside of me, but I am the beauty. I am everything. So it's not to look outside and look for contentment, happiness, beauty. It's so much more to go within. With the understanding that that's who we are. So even the outside appearance of beauty can be a distraction. And that's where I got. That's where I got. I went to that place of, even this outside appearance of beauty can be a distraction. That's what came to me in the contemplation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you again, Ruby and Jackie, for sharing my first homily with me.
You've been watching our online gathering. It happens weekly on Sundays at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. To join us live in the sanctuary, visit our website, awakening-together.org. You'll want to click on Online Sanctuary in the main menu, and then in the drop-down menu, look for How to Enter the Sanctuary. Right there at the top of the page is a clickable link. We'd love to see you in the sanctuary and join with you in fellowship. Thank you again for watching. Also, please know that if you'd like to stay connected via the Awakening Together channel here on YouTube, you can subscribe and hit the bell for more notifications. We hope to see you in the sanctuary.